In 1900, a group of sailors gathering sea sponge off the coast of the Greek isle of Antikythera discovered something unusual. As the divers dived down to gather what they came for, they noticed artifacts strewn about the sea floor. Shortly after, the ship traveled to their destination of North Africa, but by the end of the season, the ship was back off the coast of Antikythera, salvaging coins and bits of bronze statues. The captain of the ship reported the finds to the authorities in Athens. By 1901, Athens had sent their navy to investigate, and among the over 30 marble statues of Hercules, Odysseus, Hermes, and Apollo, there was another artifact. This artifact was taken to the National Archaeological Museum in Athens. There, archaeologist Valerio Stais made one of the most celebrated finds of the wreck. But just what was this artifact? Where did it come from? And just what was it used for? Come with me as we delve into the mystery of the Antikythera mechanism. The artifact, named the Antikythera mechanism for the island it was discovered by, is unusually advanced for the time period. The date for when the artifact was created has been the subject of some controversy, but it has been generally agreed to be either made in the late 2nd century or early 1st century BC. When it was first discovered, the artifact looked like just another bit of corroded bronze, but after it was cleaned it was found to be 3 pieces of the same machine, and that within these 3 pieces there were gears, which at that point modern archaeologists thought that the ancient Greeks did not have that sort of technology. What is known is that the Antikythera mechanism is hundreds of years ahead of anything that the ancient Greeks were thought to be capable of. Instruments and devices of similar complexity would not be achieved again until the astronomical clocks of the 14th century in England. The majority of the artifact is made of bronze and consists of dials, gears, and has inscriptions in ancient Greek all over it that detail how to operate the device. On the front face of the mechanism, there is a fixed ring dial representing the 12 zodiac signs, marked with equal 30-degree sectors. Outside that dial, there is another ring which is rotatable, marked with the months and days of the Egyptian calendar, 12 months of 30 days plus 5 leap days. The months are marked with the Egyptian names for them and transcribed into the Greek alphabet. The first task is to rotate the Egyptian calendar ring to match the current zodiac points. The Egyptian calendar ignored leap days, so it advanced through a full zodiac sign in about 120 years. The mechanism was operated by turning a now lost hand crank, which was connected via a crown gear to the largest gear, the 4-spoked gear visible on the front. This moved the date pointer on the front dial, set to the correct Egyptian calendar day. The year is not selectable, so one must know the current year, or look it up using the calendar cycle indicators on the back. The crank moves the date pointer about 78 days per full rotation, allowing precise date setting if the mechanism were in good condition. Turning the crank also rotates all interlocked gears, simultaneously calculating the position of the sun and moon phases, eclipses, calendar cycles, and possibly even the location of planets. It has been speculated that the mechanism was used for tracking the sun, moon, and the constellations. This mechanism would have been one of the first times that a person could actually see if their astronomical hypothesis were correct or not. You see, if a person wanted to know if they had accurately predicted an eclipse, or the position of the sun at a certain date, they would simply turn the crank and line up the arrows according to their calculations and see if they matched. This revolutionized astronomy and math. It has even been speculated that the mechanism was used to keep track of when important dates would be, like Olympic Games or important religious holidays. It has been suggested that the Antikythera mechanism is not unique, and that there could have been many more of these devices all around the Greek world, and that if there are others like the Antikythera mechanism, then where have they all gone? Most archaeologists agree that most, if not all, have since been either destroyed for their valuable bronze, or are, like the Antikythera mechanism, lost somewhere at the bottom of a lake or sea just waiting to be discovered. Since its discovery some 125 years ago, the Antikythera mechanism has captivated and baffled archaeologists. There have been many breakthroughs in the past 20 years that have shed even more light on this baffling device. CT scans, for example, have allowed archaeologists to get an unparalleled look into the inner workings of the mechanism, and detailed recreations have allowed us to see what the device may have looked like. Regardless, there are still many unanswered questions. We may never know all of the secrets that are held in this 2,000-year-old mystery.